Today's theme is God who is in all places. This is verses 7 and 8 from Psalm 139. Verse 7 says, "Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence?" Verse 8, "If I ascend into heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there." Now, if you've been watching so far with parts 1, 2, and 3 from Psalm chapter 139, verses 1 through 6, you understand the word that God is all-knowing, omniscient. And now I'd like to share a new word with you. Omnipresent. Now, if we divide that word into its two parts, omni, you should already know that that means all. And the word present, or presence, that means it's referring to a place that you are. So God is everywhere at the same time. He's always there. Now that's a deep theological concept, I'm sure. Like, what if I, Brian Lievens, were in my home there? Then that means I'm not here, I'm over there. Or suppose I would go to the state of California. That means I'm not at my home in Wisconsin, but I'd be over in California. But we are limited as humans. We can only be in one location at one time. We can't be in several places at once. Our bodies are limited. Our blood and our flesh is limited to our body. But God is not like that. God is in every place at the same time. Now, some people say, well, maybe it's like if you take a piece of paper and cut it into strips and then squares and put them all in different places. Aha, now that paper's everywhere. That's just like God is everywhere. No, I'm sorry, that's not the same idea. We can't break God into different pieces. God is one person. He's one spirit. That's who he is. And he has the ability to be in every place at the same time. Now, our minds are limited. There's no way we can understand that. But that's part of the mystery that's required to have faith in God. That God can be in every place at the same time. Now, as the psalmist was thinking about this, he asked the question, could I flee from the presence of God? And the answer is no, that's impossible. He says, well, what if I would go way up to heaven? Would God be there? What do you think? Well, of course God is there. But then the Bible word, heaven, could have several meanings. It could be the place of heaven itself, or space, or the sky. So what if I went up to the sky? Yes, God would be there. Well, let me try something different. What if I made my bed in hell? Now, the word hell, that shows, yes, God would be there, but that word hell comes from the Jewish word Sheol. And that word can be translated a few different ways, the grave, or the deepest parts of the earth, or the hell itself, the place of torment. So as I have looked into this word, which concept makes the most sense in this particular verse? Well, let me ask you, would God be in hell? Yes. God is the judge. He judges the people that are there. Now, that does not mean God is there suffering like they are, but he's there as the judge observing it. But I think the appropriate meaning is more like the center of the earth, the deepest, if you drill clear down to the core of the earth. God couldn't find you? Oh, of course God is there. You remember the verse 1, it says, "Search me, O God." If we went to the deepest part of the earth and think, finally found a place God can't find me, I'm sorry, God can still find you there. Because God is everywhere. So come back tomorrow, log on for part 2.